parent mentors had been introduced to Georgia, and Cobb County was one of those a long time ago.
On your video, it says the Arc of Georgia. Remind me your name again.
Yeah, and I can change that real quick. Stacy Ramirez.
Oh yes, I've talked with you, Stacy. I'm just horrible with faces. I remember you.
Okay. Yeah.
I've met you at one of the conferences and things.
Yeah, probably heard me talking about. Hold on, I cannot talk and type. Cannot walk and chew gum either.
I gotcha.
So I do a lot of training, especially with the parent mentors, on person-centered planning, person-centered philosophies. It's the banner I hold. But this one, and I'm happy to send you the information I have, especially since you've jumped on. This presentation is about some research I'm doing in collaboration with Georgians for a Healthy Future. Do you know that resource yet?
I have not.
Okay, so we will get you that information too. Georgians for Healthy Future is an advocacy organization specific to health, surprisingly enough. And they've asked, they've not ever really done any outreach or advocacy specific to disabilities. It's been general to the general population, which unfortunately you and I both know as moms of a son or daughter with a disability. General population doesn't usually include data on our sons and daughters.
Exactly.
So they reached out to the ARC Georgia, which my mission is to promote the human and civil rights of people with intellectual developmental disabilities, to be an inclusive member of their community. They reached out to us to talk more about health specific to people on Medicaid. So that's what this project is doing. We're reaching out to people who have Medicaid, not so much Medicare. I know that gets intertwined, and I bet if you've done many presentations, you've noticed that too. So we're talking with folks on Medicaid about, it started with non-emergency medical transport. And the first thing I'll start with, a lot of people don't even know that if you receive Medicaid, you can request transportation to medical appointments and pharmacy and other medical supports. Did you know that part?
I think the people that I talk to, they know that, but we have a very unreliable transportation problem because we're rural. We're in Effingham County. Most doctors' appointments and everything are in Savannah, which is about 25 miles. And coastal coaches just not the most feasible transportation. We've been fighting and dealing and talking with some new groups about, getting the county commission that we need some other form of transportation in our county.
Okay. So do you know about Logisticare? Have you heard of that one?
I have heard the name, but I have not done any research.
Okay. So in Georgia, we'll step out of the policies that need to be changed just to what we have now. So what we have now in Georgia are two brokers of transportation. In the north, there's Southeast Trans, and in the south, it's truly almost from Metro Georgia, Metro Atlanta and south. So Logisticare is, and I've got it over to the side just to make sure I give you the right information, but Central, East, and Southwest regions is Logisticare. And I've got this information right here in front of me if you wanted to go ahead and jot this down, their phone number.
Okay.
Their phone number for your area is 888-224-7988.
7988, okay.
Yeah. And then to get them online, it's member.logisticare.com.
Spell the Logisticare, please.
Sure, it's LOGISTICARE.
Oh, I had that correct. Member.logisticare.com. Okay.
And that's for if you need transportation, you can go to that website.
Okay.
And get your transportation set up to medical appointments. Whether it didn't have to be just a doctor's appointment. It could be for dialysis. It can be for there are other therapies.
Okay.
Yeah, and even the pharmacist.
Okay.
So that's what.
Do they transport children? But I'm assuming if they transport children, an adult has to be with them.
Perfect question. Thank you. And that will bleed into some of the issues around the policy.
Okay.
And yes, they transport children. However, and this is where we all need to, I've not reached out to parent mentors yet, and I'm so glad you're on this Zoom, even though it's just the two of us talking. However, we need advocacy around, right now, the child and the parent can go. Period. Dot. So we've got families of 5, 5 children, 4 children, 2 children.
Right.
It doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. What happens? Most of these families are on Medicaid for a reason, and to have a child care for their other children is almost, it's just not
non-existent.
Can't afford it. To put it bluntly, is what we're getting on our survey. So we've got to address the policies around whole family medical support. And that's one of the issues we're going to address. So yes, children can go with a guardian, a parent or guardian, but the whole family is not addressed. And so we're working to change that. The other issue is the family, the parent or guardian has an appointment. The children, you got to find child care, because the children aren't going to be allowed on the trip.
Right.
And then the other issues we're working hard on is the data that you've already brought up, and I'd love to hear some more of what you're hearing about the quality of services that people just aren't picked up, or you're picked up so late that the medical appointment, you and I know just from me trying to get to a medical appointment, it'll be canceled if you're too late. So appointments are canceled.
We had an issue where I helped a family, and I was able to transport them. The school system loaned me a vehicle, and I took them because I needed to attend the appointment with the mom, because the mom did not understand some things. And so I did, but and then a social worker had been there, or counselor had been there as well. And so after the appointment, you cannot call them back to say, okay, or you can't tell them, okay, I'm going to be finished at such and such time. You have to call them when you are completely finished with the doctor's appointment. So we called as soon as we were finished with the doctor's appointment, and they said it would be a wait. And I don't remember the time frame that they give, but I waited personally 30 to 45 minutes, and they had not shown up. So I said, I need to leave because I have a child at home that, I had a sitter that I had to arrange for. And so the counselor stayed with them. They sat in the doctor's office for almost 3 hours with a child with autism before they were picked back up to take back home. And it covered the lunchtime, so that had not been thought about, and things like that. And so it was very frustrating for all of us involved, to do that. And I do know that in the area with our family support dollars, that they've actually issued like some Uber cards, because the Uber has been a little more dependable, and then there's not some of those guidelines that are there,
Right.
on that. So,
and the problem with that, I mean, so I have 3 boys. My middle son is now 3 young men. I have to say they've been fussing at me.
I know that's hard to say that.
So my youngest is 21, but my middle is just about to turn 26. And the issue with using the Uber coming out of family support dollars, those are our state dollars, and families should be able to use those self-directed dollars to go towards camps or other things,
Right.
when Medicaid
should be paying
for it. So then we've got those things that we're having because we want what's best for our child, and waiting for 3 hours, especially over lunch, heaven forbid. My son is hypoglycemic, so you've got autism, and I don't know if you've ever been with anyone who has low blood sugar, but it's not pretty in itself.
No,
So,
I have 2 family members with that, so yes.
yeah, so you mix those, and it's not a good combination. Then we're going to be set up to go to another doctor's appointment because of the behavior issues. If it only stays there, we've got data and stories where the police were called because of those very issues. So it was truly the fault of the transportation system, but the person with autism was the one who experienced the justice system.
Yep.
So those kind of things, grateful to have you on the call, because I will be getting you the information that we can forward to your families in your area about increasing the capacity for getting to the doctors, and then the opportunity to give comment to DCH. And I bet, you know all the I call it the alphabet soup of being a parent of a child with a disability. So the Department of Community Health is the one that is directing this, and there's in the office that directs this NEMT, non-emergency medical transport, there's only 3 people statewide. Goodness. So if there's an issue like you just shared that issue, I don't know if it was reported. Do you know, did you or the family report that as an issue?
No, we didn't.
Because it's just one more thing. You've already, it's insult to injury.
Exactly.
Is what it's saying. The other part, just while it's in my the front of my mind, is we're also putting policy or working to write policies so that the medical professionals, when NEMT is used, that they have responsibility on their end also, so that there's a better communication and it's not all on the patient, parent, child, whoever is trying to access transportation. But on that same, going back to DCH and giving testimony of what's needed with COVID-19, it's called Georgians in the driver's seat. That project is now busted wide open to include telehealth. And that's why I wanted to spend another few minutes talking about telehealth and the accessibility. Have you had to use or attempted to use telehealth during COVID?
I have not. We haven't had, personally, we've not had any medical issues, that we have to deal with.
Knock on wood for you.
Yeah, well, he has a very good general physician that we already had things set up that if I called and I give certain symptoms, whatever, because my son has a history of UTIs, and that they were, she didn't make us come in. She would go ahead and write the order for the home health agency to come out to do a cath. And then if we needed to go further, then we could do that. So that's, that's been in place for prior to all this. And so I'm interested in the telehealth, and I know that they're actually doing we do have our elementary schools that have the telemed through our hospital. And I know that they were trying to expand for the coming year about the mental health piece. And this was all prior to COVID-19, so I don't know where the standpoint is on that. I was not a part of that team. But I share an office with a social worker, and so she went on the visit where they visited another county that has it. And I'm actually on the YMCA board, and the chairman of our YMCA board works for the hospital. So he and I talk about telemed quite a lot. And, we want to be able to use the telemed as best that we can. And we're even trying to figure out how we can do it creatively for these physicals that need to be done for our kids to participate in Special Olympics. So
that's a good one.
So that's, we're running into some roadblocks and different things, but, that's what I know about telemed, what it can and what it can't, as far as it being new to our county. So,
Right. And so you've not talked with any families yet that
no,
have attempted?
no.
Because our story was, I mean, I'm state director of a advocacy agency. That and $5 will get you a vente. But anyway, my point is, I feel like I'm relatively intelligent, but getting on the telemed appointment with Ryan, my son's psychiatrist, it took me 20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes to try and figure it out. It was horrific. So someone, had Ryan been there, and I'm not his guardian, so had he been there without supports, he would have missed this medicine, this psychiatry appointment, and it is critical to his health right now.
Right, for all of this, yes.
Right. So we had to have that appointment, and had I not been there, I don't know that he would have been able to. Now I know he wouldn't have been able to get on the medical appointment. So where I'm coming at it is both research and family access. And one is it has to be simplified. It has to be standardized. And so we will be looking into best practices on some of the systems that are out there, and bringing those back to DCH, that physicians or medical providers be more standardized, especially when we're utilizing Medicaid dollars, so that we can be sure that the people on Medicaid are actually receiving their supports, their medical supports. Now, the other thing that you brought up, and I hadn't even gone there yet, and that this is the beauty of conversations versus some sage on the stage telling you all about my research so far, is to reach out to Special Olympics. That was brilliant. Just as a side that you brought that up, that is a great opportunity,
Well,
because
and the thing is, our county is very frustrated because, I know that there's reasons behind what some of the Special Olympics state people have done, but they're making the physicals, the paperwork is like 6 pages long. And we have a commitment with a doctor that they will only charge us like $25 if the parents will just take the information there and whatever to get the physicals. Well, the state Special Olympics only pays us $20 for every physical that comes, and so we're losing money as a county, and so we're getting very frustrated with that. And it's like, we've got, we're in our county, we have a new billing where the students with Medicaid that go to the nurse, whether it be to take medicine or to get a Band-Aid or do all that kind of stuff, that they can now bill Medicaid. And then we're like, okay, how much of this percentage of Special Olympics students that are eligible for Special Olympics have that Medicaid, that if they would just allow the nurse to do it, we could bill, we could be doing that. And we lost a lot of population because the parents just were not able to get their child to another appointment, or whatever, and we're jumping too many hoops. So we've contemplated, and I don't know whether the decisions have been made yet or not, about let's just drop Special Olympics. We'll call it a family fun day or whatever, and not have to go by all their guidelines. But then there's so much. It's one of those things you don't want to cut the ties with, but yet they're making it so hard we may have no choice to cut the ties.
Right. So I heard you say that now Special Olympics is now a Medicaid provider.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, that's why I wanted to check.
No, we now are a county that will bill Medicaid for any nurse visits or things of that nature.
Okay.
And we were just saying that if the Special Olympics would allow the nurse to be the one that goes over this physical rather than a doctor, or do a telemed with a doctor, then we could get the funding that we need for what the Special Olympics paperwork and everything is.
wow. This special, my son never wanted to participate, but it's a lot. You see, the feel good stuff on TV or, in local newspapers, and there's a lot behind the scenes you
Well,
don't
and like I
see.
said, there's, we call it the Special Olympic Police, but like we went and visited a small county close to us a while back, and they just call it a field, a fun field, exceptional field day
Right.
is what they called it. And what we liked about it was that they was able to open up the guidelines that more children were able to participate, because sometimes they have higher academics, but yet they're not allowed to go participate in the fun stuff. Well, that's a positive reinforcement for them. So, not let them do that. Well, one thing that the smaller county did that I was impressed with was they invited their community center a day center. So
Right.
those adults got to come and participate, and they went out and done, even like little mini crafts and all this kind of stuff. And, everybody was just having a good fun time. And my thing is if the county is not going to go and progress to state or regional or whatever and going to participate in those Special Olympic events, why do it at the local level? But then you got that notoriety, thing too. But I'm just all about letting the kids have a good time and being involved in something that they might not typically get to be involved in. So,
Right.
like you said, your son, higher functioning, he thinks, oh, that's for those kids that are really disabled or, whatever. But if they come out, let them come out and be a volunteer.
Right.
So they're still doing something, but yet they're not actually doing the participation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
His thing is just too many people. It's too social.
yes,
But
yep.
going back, even with that, whether it be special ed or this other family fun day, going back to the telemed would be critical, even on site, that we start having that opportunity, that chance to do the telemed, telehealth, even on site if needed. So that could expand those opportunities.
Yeah,
And
well,
again,
we do have EMS that is on site when we do have the event. So, we do have that if somebody gets overheated or whatever. But like I said, just, these teachers, these nurses are becoming familiar with these kids because they give medicines, to them every day or whatever. So why would you not allow them to, ease the child's mind and then do the telemed thing if you need to sign into that doctor, for.
right.
And I don't know if it became a liability thing or something on the Special Olympics,
Right.
that they made it so difficult, but they said that it was just not feasible anymore.
So if I may bounce back up to something you mentioned at the beginning, was telemed with the hospital?
Yes, the local hospital is who provides our telemed service.
Okay.
We partnered with Effingham County Health Systems.
So that is not generalized across the state. So that's another pearl
Correct.
that you've just dropped.
This is just for, a little bit of a fever or a rash or, it's not. Now, like I said, I don't know what's going to take place with the telehealth. I know that like I said, all this happened, all the visits and everything was going on prior to COVID-19. Like as in January, February, this stuff was going on. So I don't know how that's going to take place this next
Right.
school year. And we didn't have telemed in every school. We only had it in the elementary schools, and I think one middle and possibly, I'm not sure if it was in the high school or not. So I can find out, because we have 15 sites in the county.
Wow. I'm enjoying this. This is really informational for me. I think her video might have kicked her off for a second, so she may come back. I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like she's frozen, but wow. I'll explain why that was very interesting to me. I just moved here. Well, I moved here in January, and I started at Georgia State within the CLD
Okay.
meal program. And so I'm in there now. So learning all of these facts and figures about Georgia is so interesting to me because I know a lot about South Carolina. I know a lot about Alabama because I got my master's in Alabama. So I know a lot about that, but don't know anything about Georgia. So I'm really enjoying learning all of this.
Mm-hmm. Well, and because of the state freezing our stuff, I would be meeting you next week. And then
Yes.
and it's like, that was my one-time trip that I enjoyed getting to go to, and now I'm not going to get to go. And so
I hate that. Everything is so different, but we're going to continue to press.
That's right.
Make it work.
You got kicked out, Stacy?
Yeah, my husband works, when we're both on webinars, it kicks one of us out.
Oh.
Usually it's him, but unfortunately it was me today. So I apologize to that.
No problem.
So my question, and Kara, I'm keeping an eye on the time. Do we go back into the large group?
We may. Let me check my stuff. So y'all can,
okay.
If we go in, it probably would be around 12:45 or 12:50, but let me check and I'll have an answer for you.
Okay.
Well,
so Amy, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have some flyers or different things that I could share with families, some information? Like I said, I'm going to reach out to Logisticare on that. You know, something that I can share with the families.
Yes.
Of how we can even, trying to get these parents on board to, okay, you need to speak up and you need to, contact your legislators. You need to, and in this case, I think it is more about the local county commissioners, letting them know what we need in this situation. And I feel like I'm on so many different groups that I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I attend Family Connections on a regular basis, and so telehealth is mental health is our main focus. But then we made a subcommittee that is nothing but a mental health committee that meets every other month to talk about the mental health area. So this is, the telehealth is something that greatly needs to be shared with them. And I'm not sure how they know who knows what, or, whatever, but I will definitely share the information that we're, trying to do. And even when you're talking about the healthy future, that'd be something definitely that I could share on to, that. So.
Okay, good. So I have a link that I can send you for a survey. We're trying to collect information so we can build our case of why DCH has to take action on these injustice. And then it's actually a 4-page flyer. I don't know why the researcher had so much information that they wanted to give us a 4-page flyer, but it's an infographic 4-page flyer, so it's something that I think is relevant. And I can send that to you as well. Do you want to give me your email? Do you want? Okay, go ahead.
It is AAMBROSE, so that's for Amy Ambrose, and it's the school district site, Effingham, EFFINGHAM.K12.GA.US.
I'm just thinking, had I not been able to follow you, how many times you've had to repeat yourself? That would be, because even Ramirez in the South get, Ramirez, and no one can.
Well, and we have a family in our church that are Ramirez's. That was what's kind of funny. So
yeah, I bet they're not. Yeah, gray hair or gray eyes and red hair though. I get that a lot. The cocked head. So I've got a flyer that I'm going to send you, a link that we can start to collect stories, because those stories, that no data without the story, no story without the data. We'll need both of that. And then on there also a link to this survey. Okay. We're finalizing the survey this week, so I can get that to you probably the beginning of next week.
Okay, yeah, I will be out. I mean, I'm officially done, I think next Wednesday, but I check my work email all summer and
Oh,
have
good.
that I'll still be dealing with. So
Okay, good. And Kara, I'd love to be able to get this same information to you because you know some people on Medicaid.
Yes, I'd definitely love to hear it. Let me give you my email as well, so you can just.
I'm ready.
All right, cdavis236@gsu.edu.
Good, 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 good.
And I received directions. We do not have to return to the main room, so
All right.
we're done in here.
Good. Well, Amy, unless you have some other questions, there's not a lot of great information yet because we're just starting and collecting the. So if you can help get that out, that's good.
they had just told us, you know, they pulled us back into the campuses and they just said we basically got to fill our time, and you know, they said. So I'm catching up on webinars and different things through parent to parent and different things that I don't always get a chance to see. And, you know, doing just like popping into the autism conference, I really enjoyed that. And so I thought this was a great thing. And so I just kind of looked at the topics, and the topic just, piqued my interest or whatever. And, kind of went there and, I said, I hate to say a time filler, but it's like, I know you can always learn something new. So anything that I can get and share with families, that was my goal for today to go from there. So
Perfect. Well, I appreciate both of you. This has been enjoyable to me. Certainly helped my work to turn around and help families in Georgia.
Right.
Thank you both.
And I don't know whether you had heard, Stacy, but they've already decided that our parent mentor conference will be virtual.
Yeah.
In September.
Yeah.
So, you may or may not be, this might be a prime opportunity to do this informational for the parent mentors, being it's going to be virtual,
Right.
So,
I'll talk to Ann. She's already tapped me for a few presentations.
Yeah,
but I'll let her know if she needs.
You're going to be utilized and on that. So,
alrighty. Yeah, I'll send a note to Ann Ladd that you suggested it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I think that's good. And Kara, I hope to meet you sometime soon.
Yes, I hope so as well. Thank you, ladies, so much. This has been very informative.
Okay, and you have my email as well. If there's anything that I can help you with, or if I don't know a lot of information. I tell people I know just a little bit about everything, not enough about everything. So,
but it sounds like you're a connector, and connectors are critical.
They're awesome.
I love the family connection stuff and getting that stuff out there. So anyway, but I'll definitely share this with our telehealth people, and we can go from there.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.